Hey guys, Marissa at KitchenTableStamper.com. Today I want to share this Follow Your Art note card with you. This is the card we'll make at Coffee and a Card this Wednesday, June 26th in my Rolling Meadows home studio. So if you live in the Chicago area, northwest suburbs, and you're interested in more information about Coffee and a Card, happens every other Wednesday. And from 10 a.m. to noon, it's a drop-in, one-card craft, coffee, treats, fun socializing. You can reach out to me, Marissa, at KitchenTableStamper.com. Just send me an email and I'll get you in the loop. All right, so this Follow Your Art note card features it starts with Art Bundle from Stampin' Up. This 12-piece cling rubber stamp set can be bundled up with the Arts and Crafts stamping cut and embossed dies, and you can save 10% when you buy both products together. I love this new bundle. It's new to the 2019-2020 Stampin' Up! Annual Catalog. We're going to use the Designer Series paper from this suite and also the embossing folder from this suite. This is the button embossing folder. I just love this adorable texture. Do you see that? What a crafty background, right? We're also going to use the new Stitched Nested Labels dies. These are new to the 2019-2020 catalog also. And ink for the project, I've got my Memento Tuxedo Black and my Stampin' Blends. We're gonna color. Got the Calypso Coral combo, Smoky Slate combo, Mango Melody combo. This is the Light Bermuda Bay Dark Pool Party, and we've got a color lifter. All right, let's see about consumable supplies for this note card. I've got a little bit of white baker's twine and my card kit. I've done some of the die cutting ahead of time for you. So let's take a look at these pieces. I've got the 2 1/8 by 3 3/16 stitched nested label. It's already cut from Whisper White. Got a scrap of Whisper White that's 1/2 inch by about 4 inches for the sentiment. I've already die cut these awesome pieces. So this is the ribbon border. It's from the Arts and Crafts die set. I love this die set. It stands so well by itself. Even if you don't love the whole It Starts With Arts suite and theme, these dies will be so good for all of your crafty projects. This is the ribbon border, and it cuts a ribbon edge, so it leaves it attached to the cardstock. I just snipped it out, cut it from Calypso Coral. You got a piece about 1 by 5, that should work. And then we're also using this biggest button die. There's 5 different buttons and a strip of button trim in this die set. Really awesome die set. And about an inch square scrap should yield that adorable button, and you just really got to see this. So the button cuts and embosses a design on the button, and you get all this really great texture. The ribbon has a little stitched edge that the die cuts right along the ribbon. It's a great die set. So I've cut those out. This is Pacific Point. This is Calypso Coral, and let's take a look at our Designer Series paper. This is a Follow Your Art Designer Series paper. We're using this kind of multicolor pattern with the stitches on the back. And this piece is 1 3/4 by 5. My card base is Coastal Cabana, and it's 8.5 by 5.5 and scored at 4 1/4. All right, let's get started. I'm gonna grab the Big Shot and let's do some embossing first. Okay, I've got my button embossing folder. I'm gonna put my card front right in the folder and just give it a quick emboss, crank through the machine. There it is. Look at that great button and stitching texture. I just love this embossing folder. It's too cute. Now for some stamping, I've got my Memento Tuxedo Black and the Follow Your Art greeting. We're gonna stamp this greeting to the right-hand side of our sentiment piece, leaving room for our button to embellish. kind of anchors the sentiment to the card. And I love this spool of ribbon with the little heart-shaped tail of ribbon. So cute. I'm going to start my coloring with the little blue stripes on the ribbon here. I'm just going through with Pool Party. This is the dark shade, and coloring every other stripe, working from the right side into the left center, and then from the left side into the center. And then I'm just going to take my light Bermuda Bay and add some depth to those stripes. You can blend a little bit, but it's such a small space. It doesn't need much. Got my Mango Melody next, and I'm going to color in this middle ribbon with Mango Melody, the light shade, and then dark shade, just kind of along the bottom edge, and then the right and left edges, like a little shadow where the spool would cast a shadow. My Calypso Coral ribbon, I'm going to go ahead and color in this section from the left of the spool to the heart. And then I'm going to take my brush tip of the darker Calypso Coral, and I'm going to pick up some of the darker shade on the light Calypso Coral marker. I do that because I find that Calypso Coral, the dark and light shades, are further apart in intensity than a lot of the Stampin' Blend colors, and it makes it a little bit more intense to blend the two shades. So I'm going for a soft shadow here, and to get a soft shadow, picking up the darker shade on the lighter marker makes blending the two shades just a little bit easier. And I'm doing it in segments so that my ink is really wet when I bring the darker shade to the lighter. Okay, I'm pretty satisfied with my Calypso Coral here. All right, when you've done the point-to-point blending, you want to just make sure that you clean off the lighter shade and that it scribbles out all that darker shade. And then you can put your marker away. Now for my spool here, the spools, I'm going to take my light smoky slate and just define the edges of the spool, one spool at a time. And then I'm going to soften where the smoky slate meets the white again. So it gives the spool some dimension and makes it clear that you didn't forget to color the spools. They're white. And then I'm going to do the center of the spools here with the light smoky slate, and then I'm going to take the darker smoky slate and give the center of the spool a gray finish. And at this point you can go over, and now that the ink is starting to dry from the top down, you can soften any areas that you think still need a little bit of softening. Gives the color lifter a little bit of time to do its work if you go back down the spool from top to bottom. All right, so there we go. Our ribbon's colored. Let's assemble this card. I'm going to use snail adhesive on the back of my Designer Series paper and adhere so that we've got a even border on the bottom, right, and left. You can see the coastal cabanas all even there. Then next up is our ribbon spool focal point. And I want that so that the points of the label are just even with the Designer Series paper. And it's a little bit off center so that we can balance with those button and ribbon trims. Then I've got my Follow Your Art sentiment here, and I'm going to put multi-purpose liquid glue, but I'm spreading it out across the back of the border of this ribbon, and then use that to center the whole thing. It's down just a little bit low, so we'll kind of budge it up a bit using both pieces at one time. Make sure it's level, and then you can burnish down the whole thing. Got a little bit of Whisper White Baker's twine here, and I'm just going to use a couple of inches, maybe 4 or 5 tops. I want to put a little thread through my button. I think it looks kind of realistic. And then I'm going to tie a little knot on the back just to secure that. So I looped through my buttonhole twice, tie a knot, and then I'm going to cut off the excess. If you wanted to, you could put the little knot on the top of your button. That's a matter of choice. I'm going to grab some dimensionals here. I've got minis, and I'm going to use a couple of half minis. Dimensionals are sticky. Let's go ahead and place our little button embellishment. There it is. Follow your art. All right, you guys, we're featuring the It Starts With Art stamp set. You can add the arts and crafts dies in the online classroom this month. If you've got any questions about the project, about Stampin' Up, if you'd like to join me in my Chicago area home for classes or for coffee and a card, you can email Marisa at kitchentablestamper.com. To check out what's in the online classroom, you can go to kitchentablestamper.com/online classroom, see what we're doing with It Starts With Art over there. You can always place orders 24/7 at marisaalvarez.stampinup.net. Thanks for watching.